My gosh, I can see on here I'm looking quite red. I've been out in the sunshine. I'm very, very sorry. So today we're going to do the mermaid tail. Now, it's not going to take very long at all. It's quite a simple, straightforward thing to do. The only thing that's totally and utterly random and bizarre about this is that you need to find one sock. I know, right? So one sock. Now, this could be, if you've got a grown-up sock that you could use, that might work even better. And if you've got a sock that goes up your legs right to your kneecaps, that would be even better. So once you've got your sock, you can do this without a sock. If you haven't got one, it doesn't matter. But one sock helps the concept of the mermaid tail. So what you're also going to need are those little paper cases that I told you about, or just some circular bits of paper that you've cut out. They don't need to be very big. About the circumference, that means the whole of the top circle of a cup. That would be more than enough. You need some glue. You need a bit of ribbon, or maybe a shoelace, or something that you can use to tie up very gently with. And you need a very large piece of paper. Or what you could do, this is about 4 A4 pieces if you stuck them together. So that will do. So what you're going to do to start with, now, I haven't drawn this out, so this could be interesting. I'm just going to make a bit of a guesstimate. What we're looking for is to make the shape of a mermaid's tail. Now, a mermaid's tail tends to be quite teardroppy, doesn't it? So I'm just going to go from the corner here. Now, we want it to be quite big. Now, if I think about where halfway is, it's probably about there. So I'm going to go back now. As we always say, it doesn't matter if it doesn't go quite according to plan, because we can always change it up, or just say that's how it's meant to be. It's exactly what we want it to look like. So there's the bottom of the tail. Now, the bit that I don't like is that bit there. So I'm just going to smooth that out a little bit, because it's a little bit too square for me. There we are. And then we want the other side of the mermaid's tail. Now this needs to be quite long, and it's going to go a bit like an arc. There we go. So out of our large piece of paper, we've cut something that looks like a mermaid's tail. Now that was quite easy, wasn't it? So that's the first bit. This is probably going to be the quickest video I've ever done. Now, what I have already done is taken my little circles, or taken my little paper cases, and I've painted them. Now you can colour yours in, or you can paint them. Or if you haven't got any extra paper, you can just draw on here, or paint straight onto here. But these act a little bit like scales. So I found some metallic paint, so I've painted mine so they are all shimmery. You could add glitter, but sometimes parents aren't too happy about all the glitter in the house. If your grown up that you live with doesn't mind, then you carry on. So what we're going to do to these, now you can do each one separately if you like. I'm going to put all mine together, and we're going to cut them into triangle shapes. So we want it to look, if I just do it, I'm going to do them in half, and then I'm going to do each half into 3. Like that, can you see? So I've cut the circle in half, and then I've cut each half into thirds. So I'm cutting my whole into 6 equal parts. So let's do another one there, and another one there. And there are your scales. So we know mermaids' tails have scales on them, don't they? So they're like a fish. And then, simple, easy. Simple, simple, easy. So all you're going to do is take them, all the different colours. Now you don't want to glue all of it. So you're just going to glue the pointy bit so that the bottom bit, which is the circular bit, hangs off the bottom. And you're just going to take all the different pretty colours, mix them up and stick them on just the pointy bits. Now I haven't actually made one of these already, so you are going to have to put up with watching me do this on this side so that you can get an impression of what it is that I'm talking about. So I'm just going to stick them on. Can you see me doing that? You can't, can you? Here we go. I do that. There we go. So we're just going to stick them on in little rows. You can fill in any of the little gaps that you might have. So I can see underneath here, I've got a little gap. So I'm going to stick that in the gap. And it doesn't have to be tidy. You can put it however you like, in whatever way you can fit them on. Now, you can choose as well whether you want to stick them all over, or maybe what you want to do is just stick them on the bottom part of your fish tail, your mermaid tail. It's up to you. But you get the idea of what I'm doing. I mean, it is quite simple and straightforward, isn't it? What I'm going to do is carry this on and then come back to you. Now, I don't have enough to do the whole of my tail. So what I'm going to do is just do one side for you and then come back so that it doesn't bore you as you watch me sticking them all down. I'll be back in a minute. Et voila, there we go. So I've only had enough, I think I did about 8. I only had enough to do that much of the tail, but it gives you an idea of what it looks like. And then obviously the scales still move because you've only glued on the triangular bit at the top. So you can imagine what it would look like, if I move it back here, if you had it all done. It would be very shimmery and very cool, wouldn't it? So the next thing you have to do, if you've got a hole punch at home, that would work much better than what I'm about to do. If you need to do what I have to do, please make sure you ask a grown-up first. So what you need to do now is put 2 little holes at the top of your tail. So I'm going to do it just with the scissors that I've got. Now remember, your tail will have a lot more of the scales on than mine will, if you choose to do it all the way over. So this bit will be covered, you won't see it. And then what you're going to do is with your ribbon, or whatever it is you've got to tie it on with. Now if you look at where I've done my holes, that's not very central, is it? My other hole needs to be over here, so I'm just going to move that slightly. You want the tail to sit on your feet centrally. So it doesn't matter because I can cover that up with scales when I finish it off. So you're going to poke your ribbon through one side and take it right the way across and back out the other side. Now if it's a nice pretty ribbon like this, it's a sparkly one, then that will fit in nicely with my scales, so it doesn't matter. If you don't want to see it, you could do 2 little holes this side, 2 little holes that side, and just wrap it through. Now the next part is where you need your sock. So what you do is you put both of your feet into one sock, and you pull the sock up your knees as far as it will go towards your knees, and then you put this over your feet and use the ribbon to tie it around your ankles. Tie it loosely, don't tie it too tight, and obviously make sure if you've got the sock on that you're staying sat down. Don't try and stand up, don't try and jump or walk around, because there is a big risk that you're going to fall over and hurt yourself, and that's not what we want. So this is just for you to use whilst you're sat or lying on the floor, or maybe you could have a mermaid picnic, or you can have the mermaids come to tea. So that's how you do it. Put your sock on, roll it up towards your knees, make sure both your feet are in it, use your ribbon, tie it round your ankles, and then you can flap like a mermaid as much as you like. Ta-da! How about that? That was quite quick, wasn't it? I think that's quite easy to do. Hopefully lots of you will be mermaids. You could always make it into a fish tail if you wanted, and make it into like a shark's tail, and instead of painting it all pink, you could paint it grey. Or you could just cut out a big grey tail and paint it grey, and then put your feet in a sock and tie it round and be a shark if that's what you wanted to do. You could always make a little triangle hat out of the paper plate hats, couldn't you? You can make this into whatever you like. But for now, to go with our theme, we've got a mermaid tail, and she's very, very shimmery. So there we have it. I hope you've enjoyed it, and good luck if you give it a go. One more video tomorrow, our story video for Friday. I've got another interesting book to read to you from Enid Blyton. I think I'm going to go with a nature story this time, so we'll see what we can find. Unless I can find a story about a pirate or a mermaid, and then we'll go with one of those. But look after yourselves, enjoy the lovely weather, and I'll see you very soon. Take care.